And good afternoon, folks. How you guys doing today? Warp103 here. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. This time here we're doing, like we do every year, the Bond tank reviews of what tanks you should get or what tanks you shouldn't get. So sit back, relax, and of course, enjoy the show.
I'm gonna have to rain down a godly firestorm on you.
And thank you for viewing this video. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking the icon above, and then of course hitting the bell icon to get notifications when the next video drops. So here we go. Now we do this once a year, every year. So this way there, you know, just in case any additional bond tanks have been made or put into the thing, this is what you want to do. Now we're going to go down to, well, what we already have in the garage first, because again, these are going to be either recommended or not. All right, let's start at the bottom. Nope. The M10, just no. Again, this is one of those things that I got because of something else, so that unless you're really hurting for a low tier, no. The next one is the medium tank, the shielded 34, no. Tiger 131 is actually, yes, this was something that you was able to get all the time back in the day for Halloween events and everything else like that, but now you can't. But this is a tier, it's a tier that you really can do well in tier 6, so to have a little bit of fun, have some blast, get your win rate up. It's just a great tank. No, just no. I know it's a tier 7, but it's just no. The IS-6, yes, is actually a very good tank for beginners. If you don't know how to play the game well and everything else that, and you want to be able to bounce some shots, still get some penetrations in and everything else that, and plus don't see tier 10s, IS-6, great tank. Patriot, great tank and everything else, not as great as it used to be and everything else. It has been power creep to death, but it's been recently buffed to put it back on top where it needs to be and everything else that it's credit maker. It makes good credits and everything else, and you can do really well inside of it. The Lorraine, this is a specialty tank. If you do not know how to play autoloaders, don't get it. If you do know how to play autoloaders, you're going to have a lot of fun with it. Again, definitely a must buy if you are good with autoloaders. The Guard, this is my minimum standard of good. This is the tank that I judge all other tanks against for it to be registered in the good category. If you cannot measure up to the Guard, you're basically bad or worse. That's how I consider it. So this is one of the tanks that you can get and you'll have a lot of fun. It's basically sniper, or you can play it in mean. This is dual role. You can do both with this tank. It's better at a sniper, but can be played as a medium. We'll go it like that. The Pooplack, nope. I have it. I got it because the gun is great, but the platform itself versus other light tanks just doesn't cut it. This one is a specialty item because of the cost. This one I recommend, but don't recommend. Okay, what do you mean by that? For how much it cost, it's a non-recommend because it's a lot of bonds to pay for this tank and everything else of that. Why do I recommend it, on the other hand, is because it plays, the gun is so sweet, it plays so great. If you know how to position, it's great. Is this the problem is, if you're on any maps with hills, oof. But if you're not on a map that has a lot of hills, and you can basically, that gun just sings. So this is one of the ones where if you have crap loads of bonds, you have nothing else to buy, then you buy this and then you have a great time. The 121B, again, is expensive as well. These are tier 10s. The 121B is just phenomenal, but it's expensive. So both of these tanks are really good. Now I know a lot of people have hate for this because it goes on fire and everything else of that. There is equipment that stops that from happening. If you use it, you're going to be fine. If you don't use it, you're screwed. Same thing with this. This thing is a DPM monster, but you have to put the right equipment on it. If you put the right equipment on it, you have a blast. If you don't have the right equipment on it, well, you're going to hate life. All right, these are the ones I have in my garage. Let's go to the ones that I've played, but I don't have in my garage because I just haven't spent the money on it. Hydrostat. Tier 5, I'm not spending money on tier 5s. It's just, that's just that simple. Again, this is a tier 6. Again, I'm not spending money on it. Just not good. The Tiger 131, sorry, the Alpine Tiger is the Waffen Trigger 11. I already have it. The WZ 1111. I already have that tank. There was no sense in me buying it for bonds and everything else of that. It is tier limited, so you have preferential matchmaking. This thing is fast. You can get in position. The gun is serviceable. Yeah, it's a tank that I would consider not friendly for new players. If you're a veteran player and you just, again, don't want to see tier 10s, have a blast with it. Mutts, just say no. I'd rather buy the Tiger the Alpine Tiger than buy the Mutts. The Mutts is just plain trash. This has been buffed, but I still consider it not good. The AMX is basically noob friendly. It's gonna bounce a lot of shots versus other people that don't know how to play the game. But if you're versing a veteran, they're gonna hit you in the cupola every time and mess you up. But it makes a lot of credits. It's a really accurate tank, but you have to let it aim all the way in. If you let it aim all the way in, you're going to hit. They're going to feel miserable, and you're going to have a good laugh. Yeah, no. Power crept to death. No. Now, I've talked about this before. The Chrysler K is a phenomenal tank with a phenomenal problem. In order to make this tank work, you have to shoot gold. So, if you want a high win rate, you buy this tank, but you're going to be paying for it with credits. And the reason for that is because in order for them to penetrate you, they have to shoot gold back at you. And even with them shooting gold, they have problems pinning you. So again, it makes it phenomenal because it's hard to pin, but you're not going to be making credits with this. So if you want a good win rate, a better win rate, you buy this, you play this, you make cash. You make your win rate great, but your cash is going to deplete. And that's how I feel about that. The KR, nope, sorry, it's just been power craft to the basement. Don't even do it. KV5, still a fun tank to play. If you know how to reverse side scrape, you will make people's life absolutely miserable in this tank. But if you don't know how to reverse side scrape, don't do it to yourself. You just hurt yourself badly. Just know, it's the Prima Victoria, basically. Just know, don't even do it to yourself. The GF, again, used to be one of the phenomenal tanks, but now it's been power crept to death. And you have tanks like the BZ that will hit this tank and it's just going to go away. Just know. The 103 is the 103. I think it's a terrible tank, but it has its place. I would never buy it. But if you want to train some crews, you want to be able to slap really hard. I mean, basically, there's a couple other tanks that's like this, it's like that basically the high alpha, but as big as a damn house. You have no camo. Now, again, I'm a camo type of guy. I love the tanks that have camo that I can slap hard with. This tank here, it slaps hard, but you ain't got no camo. You do have a bit of armor, but I wouldn't depend on it. So, to each his own. Nope. Just no. I've tried to make this thing work because, again, it's the KV4 platform. The KV4 is phenomenal, but it doesn't have the armor scheme of the KV4. If it did, it would be a phenomenal tank. Just know, absolutely not. Even though it's been buffed, it's still trash. Still trash. Boss specialty tank, That's, again, it's a meme. You use this tank if you want to go into battle and just completely meme people out and have a good time. If not, no. Just absolutely not. This tank is already in the game. You get nothing for it. You literally, this is a tech tree tank with a skin. No. We don't do tech tree tanks with skins. And the M6, again, at 15,000, and it's a medium. It just can't compete with this tank here. If I'm paying that much money, I'd rather get this because it's getting the DPM is way better. The whole armor scheme, everything about it is way better. But if you have nothing else to spend your money on, and you're an American tank guy, But we've covered all along the short here and everything else. And again, some tanks are recommended. Some tanks are just good. Some tanks you want to have in your garage and everything else. Again, you want to have this in your garage. You want to have this in your garage. You want to have this in your garage. You want to have that in your garage. Again, if you're an autoloader, you want to have this in your garage when you want to go low tier and not be bothered and have a good time. You want to have this in your garage when you definitely don't want to see tier 10, but you just want to bomb around at tier 9 and tier 8 and have a good time. And there's a couple that, again, I have, but it just doesn't show it in the list because I have the other version of it. This tank here, again, you'll have a great time with it when you're facing most people, except for veterans. You will make credits with it. Again, another good one. So again, those are the ones that I would consider. If you want a heavy tank, you grab these two here for different reasons. Again, this one here is going to make you money. It has the armor that will service you. This one here, it has armor that's great, but the gun is trash and you're going to be paying out a lot of money for wins. That's my recommendations. That's what I feel about these bond tanks and everything else. That a lot was added, but most of the ones they added didn't add a great value to what was already here. So again, my name is Warp103. This is what I feel about the bond tanks. Hopefully you have a great time. Warp out, have fun. We're gonna catch you guys